Oh, Division 1.5 patch notes. Oh, let's see what they did. Nothing interesting here. So we got enemy armor damage. Tactical advance. This talent will now provide you a maximum of 30% damage increase. And it's reduced to 5 seconds. Which it doesn't say here, but it is. That used to be like 55 or 60% damage increase in 10 seconds. Well, that's fine. I could still do my one-shot build anyway. Provident. This talent has been removed. What? From World Tier 5 and will not roll or be available in recalibration for gear score 256. Well, I didn't use Provident too much, but without Tack Advance I'm pretty sure I need it. But we still have the headshot damage from Sentry and Hunter, we should be fine. Hunter's Fate, 3-piece headshot bonus reduced from 20 to 10. I mean, that seems pretty fine though. I mean, 10%, sure, it's a big deal, but it's still multiplicative. It's not multiplicative anymore? What? So now I only get 20% headshot damage instead of 100% that I used to get before on my sniper? Shit. Well, it sucks guys, I guess one shot is dead. You think you can stop Dimitri from one-shotting people with a sniper? Think again, Massive. Dimitri will always find a way.
Your one shot is not that strong. You need to learn from this.
Hey guys, so today I'm gonna show you my new 1.5 one-shot build. I haven't tried this build too much, but I did try it a bit yesterday, so that's the footage you saw before. But you could see that I one-shotted everyone. I could even one-shot Sleepy, which have the best gear that I've seen so far. I think you have like 55.9 armor, which is insane. And this build is not even perfect. It's kind of work in progress. Hopefully I can get it a bit more min-max because I missed some crucial talents. But let's get into it. So I'm using 4-piece Alpha Bridge with 2 ions. And as most of you guys know, I did get a Barrett chest, so I'm using that one. You could however go Reckless instead, which gives you more damage, but you would be quite glass cannonish. But this build is super high risk, but you get high reward. If you compare this to 1.4 one-shot build, this one is so much harder to pull off, and you're gonna be in a worse situation since you have to use 2 snipers. So yeah, you can go Reckless here as on the chest. There's nothing special here, you go armor and health. 4-piece Alpha Bridge, it's important that you get enemy armor damage here. Crit chance doesn't really matter, but it's nice to have, of course. Have firearms, armor mods as usual. Got a knee pad. It's important to have enemy armor damage here as well with armor roll. Alpha Bitch backpack, which I was lucky to get. I was kind of waiting for Alpha Bitch piece, either a knee pad or a backpack that I needed before I could do this build. Currently modding first aid self heal. I think I'm gonna try to look for performance mod slots for mobile cover, but we will see. I still haven't tried this build enough. I tried it just one hour yesterday. That's all. Have some savage gloves, which you don't need, but important on the gloves is that you have marksman rifle damage. And I'm using an Alpha Bitch holster. Currently what I would like to do, or what you can do, as long as you have 4-piece Alpha Bitch, then you're fine. And Barrel Chest or Reckless I would go for. And Savage you don't need. I would probably go a holster instead, Sturdy or Nimble maybe. Probably Sturdy, because it works really good with Reckless. If you don't want to go Reckless and don't have the Barrel Chest, you could go Robust, which increase your armor in cover. And since you either have Robust or the Barrel Chest piece, which increase your armor when you have 2 skills on cooldown, you could use a Sturdy holster, which would almost give you the armor cap when you sit in cover. Some other high-ends you could use Tenacious, maybe you could use Specialized, but I think Barret, Reckless, Tenacious and Sturdy. And if you've been lucky and gotten a Bliss holster, you could use that. You just use the 93R pistol and you get the 9 tags, and then you swap to the sniper, and then you have 18% more damage for 20 seconds I think. Just make sure you don't get the 10 bullets on it, because then the damage will disappear. Or like the best for this, I would personally probably go Barrel Chest and Sturdy I think. We will see. I will try some different stuff. I don't have a good enough Alpha Bitch gloves to change yet, so that's why I have Savage. So, go into the weapons. Here's the important part. You need another sniper with Provident. I picked this sniper up in 1.4 since I already then, after I played the PTS the first day, I had the ID with this build, and it had Unforgiving, Provident and something else here. I rolled Competent. So I have Provident and Competent here. And Unforgiving, which I kind of like, but still I'm currently missing Destructive, so I would like to have Destructive instead. On my Model 700 I have super high base damage, super high headshot damage, which I think if you're looking for a sniper, it's important to look at the headshot damage, because if you have 140, 150 headshot damage, that's like 2 or 3 brutal. So that's really important. I have Disciplined, I have rolled Brutal and Elevated. I don't really like Discipline. It's not that good for this, because you have to rely on NPC kills, and sadly when you kill a player it doesn't count it as a kill, since it goes in a down state. If that would work, this would be really good, but it doesn't. But it's not a bad talent, it kinda helps you. But I would prefer, if I look at my talents, the best talents in my opinion would be Destructive, Brutal, Provident, and then you go Prepared, Unforgiving, Competent. That would be the dream 6 talents. So I'm currently missing Destructive and Prepared, which is a lot of damage. Like imagine if I had, instead of Disciplined, I would have Destructive, and instead of Unforgiving or Elevated I would have Prepared. I would do so much more damage, and then I could probably go more stam as well. So that's something I would like to improve, but it's gonna be hard since I need a better Model 700, and mine is really good. The only bad thing is the talents on it, the rest is like super good. So I tried to craft some snipers yesterday. I actually crafted for like 300-400 weapon parts, and I never got Provident, which I thought you could get, because if you read the patch note it only says that they took away from 256. So I tried to craft one. I got one decent with Competent and something else, and I tried to recalibrate it, but I couldn't get Provident, and then I checked the list, it was not there. So I decided to tweet our Division developer and I asked about it, and apparently you can't roll Provident or craft it. I assume you still can get it as a drop as long as it's not 256. So if you don't have a Provident sniper, then you have to farm. Probably I would farm lower clear skies trying to get it. But if you have a Provident, that's all you need. Like, you need a model 700 and a Provident sniper. Preferably low gear score, but I mean, if you have one with higher and in the first slot with some good talents, then you're good to go. Just get a model 700 with hopefully good talents, and it should be fine. Currently have 7,300 firearms and almost 4,900 stam. If I would have better talent, I could go more stam, but I think I'm not too squishy. Like 146 HP. I have more, 150 I think. 152k with 54.7 armor, which I could get a bit higher if I get better armor mods, but I'm focusing more on firearms. So the most important part with this build, which makes it possible, is because of the model 700, the new sniper. So when you shoot a shot, it reloads, but it reloads every bullet separately, right? So if I shoot a shot here, I have one bullet left, so I have Provident now. I press it, bam. Then I shoot again, bam. I still can abuse the last bullet, right? But the problem is, if you just fire it, and you press fire again, it waits 2 seconds and then it shoots. So the problem I had in the beginning was like, how do I actually stop the reload the most efficient way? Because when you just press fire, it's gonna be really hard to pull it off. Like, I press fire and then it takes like 2 or 3 seconds and then it shoots. So what I learned is, when you shoot, of course you can do easy, like reload one bullet then I swap weapon, but that takes a lot of time. And I could shoot, reload to one bullet, and I pop a grenade and then I swap back, but it's not that fast, right? But what I did find out is that you could shoot and then you could bash as soon as it's reloaded, reload one bullet and then shoot again, which pretty fast. It's pretty fast, right? And I find an even better way. You shoot one bullet. Oh, I fucked up. So I found out the even better way than that though. You shoot, reload to one, and then you do the emote. It's a little bit faster. The downside with that is, when you do a emote, you have to stand still. See, I'm trying to do emote while moving and it doesn't work. If you, however, choose to bash, you can move and bash, right? It's a little bit slower, but I think bashing is probably what I'm gonna be doing. But the emote is faster if you make sure to stand still. I fucked it up. You need to make sure you load one bullet and then do it. And this was of course what Massive was trying to stop when they took away Provident from 256. So that's why you have to use Alpha Bridge, because you can't get Provident anymore on 256 items, and you only get the M700 in 256 gear score. And personally, I don't think this build is OP by any means. I didn't think the one-shot build with sniper was OP in 1.4, because it requires a lot of aim with bolt action. And if it would be so OP, you would have seen it way more, because my video had a lot of views and I know a lot of people knew about the build, but I never ran into no one really running it, except like 2, 3, 4 people maybe. And this build is even way harder, because you have 2 snipers. If someone comes close to me, I'm pretty fucked, because my other sniper is a 163. I mean, sure, I can hip fire it, but I'm not gonna deal any damage, so I'm gonna be quick scoping all the time with this sniper. But the best sniper in my opinion to have in the secondary slot would be a SVD 229, which you rolled with Provident in the bottom slot. I'm pretty sure like no one have it, because SVDs roll with Discipline in the bottom, and why would you actually roll Provident in the bottom on a SVD, right? And if you try to do that now, it's not possible to recalibrate and get Provident, even though it's below 256, which I think is weird, because it should be possible, because they said only 256 should not be able to get it, but yeah, I guess that's how it is now. But that would be the best secondary, because you can hip fire really good with a SVD. I guess what I want to do is I want to swap this pistol to a double barrel shotgun, and then you at least have something close combat. But double barrel is like the worst weapon in the game, or at least the hardest weapon in the game, I would say. And I'm currently playing around a bit with the mobile cover, which gives you 20 all damage resilience, you get concealed, and you get 10% damage. And if I would sit there with sturdy, I would get even more armor. I don't have a sturdy holster on me, sadly, but my toughness would go up like insanely because of 50% more armor of sturdy. So basically when I do this, I try to stay, since I have elevated, I try to stay on top of cars to get that extra damage. I've been using this mobile cover a bit as well, which works pretty good. So basically I go into the cover, I pop my booster, then I get 5% from Barrett, I get competent, I get the booster shot damage as well, I shoot a shot, and when you are in cover you can't reload, so you have to go out on the cover. However, you could reload and then swap to a grenade and then back, or you could just shoot. You can swap weapon and back if you want to still sit in cover. I think grenade is better, it's pretty fast. And this build is mainly focused around PvP one-shots, but I did do a bit PvE with it. And having discipline, like you will crit, if you hit headshots you will crit every time, right? Because you will one-shot NPCs. At least most of them, not all. I think if I had destructive it would help a lot, but yeah. This is the current firearms and stam I have. I could have, if I would get the guard roll talents, I would probably be able to decrease the firearms a little bit. Because I feel like I'm at a certain point where I'm basically one-shotting everyone. As long as I can booster shot, if I can use that. Even without it, I do one-shot most people. But definitely if I had prepared and destructive, or at least destructive, I would one-shot even more. So I mean, I guess we could check the talents. So about booster shot, you have to use mobile cover. I'm kind of trying it out now. It's pretty nice, but still, it's not that mobile, right? Pulse is always nice. I mean, that's probably what I would use, since I'm not a fan of flame turret. And I would probably go recover link. Then of course critical save on the move. Tactical advance is always nice to have when you're using a sniper build, just to make sure that you one-shot if you don't have booster shot up, for example. But you will one-shot most people. So critical save on the move, attack advance. Guess if you don't play in a group, you could go this one if you're scared when you do cover to cover, or you just have strike back. But yeah, I think this is it, guys. We'll show you a little bit PvE footage, I guess, just a little bit so you can see how it works there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this build. Yeah, take care, have a nice day.